Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really fascinating report all about American retirement savings. After a year with some pretty big market swings, 2025 actually turned out to be a record-breaking year. It's pretty amazing.
So that's the big question on everyone's mind, right? With all the ups and downs in the market, what did that actually mean for the average person's retirement account? Did people stick it out, or did all that volatility make them nervous?
While the numbers are in and they are impressive, the average retirement account balance hit an all-time high, climbing a full 13% from the year before. And maybe even more importantly, the median balance, which gives you a better feel for the typical saver, jumped an incredible 16%. Just a really, really strong result all around.
Okay, so how on earth did this happen? Here's how we're going to break it down. We'll start with the big picture. Then we'll look at the automatic engine that's really driving this thing. We'll get into the power of just being patient, touch on some new rules in the game, and then wrap it all up with what this means for you.
All right, first things first, let's just set the stage. To really get why those account balances shot up to record highs, you have to look at the market environment. It basically fueled this entire thing.
The market gave savers some serious tailwinds in 2025. I mean, look at this. The S&P 500 finished up 16%. U.S. bonds saw a solid 7% gain, and international stocks, well, they had a massive year, returning 32%. It just goes to show you, having a diversified portfolio really, really paid off. Now, a strong market is great, for sure, but that's only part of the story. The real hero here, the thing that's quietly working in the background, is automation. And believe me, it is completely changing the game for savers. A huge, huge driver of all this success is automation. 61% of retirement plans now automatically enroll their employees. And if you look at bigger companies, that number is even higher, almost 80%. This one feature makes sure people get started saving from day one, literally without lifting a finger. And it's this brilliant one-two punch that's a real powerhouse. First, you're in the plan automatically, but second, and this is key, over 70% of those plans also have automatic escalation. That just means it bumps up your savings rate a little bit each year. It's this gentle, consistent push toward a much healthier retirement.
And the crucial part here is that employers are getting so much smarter about this. They're setting that initial savings rate higher right from the get-go. So instead of a pretty low 1 or 2%, the majority now default to 4% or more, and that makes a massive difference over the long haul.
But a well-designed plan is only half the battle. What people actually do, or in this case, don't do with their accounts, is just as important. And for 2025, that was the big story. A record high 69% of people are now using what are called professionally managed allocations. So instead of trying to pick individual stocks and bonds themselves, they're using a single fund that does all the work for them, something like a target date fund. It just automatically adjusts your investments as you get closer to retirement. It is the ultimate set it and forget it strategy.
And the result of that hands-off approach? Well, even with some market volatility during the year, only 5% of people made any trades in their accounts. That number matches an all-time low. It shows savers are resisting that urge to react to every bit of market news, which is just fantastic for long-term growth. And this just shows you exactly how effective those target date funds are. People who were invested in them were 4 to 5 times less likely to make trades. By automating all those complex decisions, these funds just help investors tune out the noise and stay the course. It's that simple.
So, the savings landscape is also changing because of some new laws. There's a big one called the Secure 2.0 Act, and it introduced a bunch of new optional features for retirement plans. We're just starting to see companies roll them out.
Okay, so adoption is still in the pretty early stages. The most popular new feature, which was added by about 16% of plans, allows for penalty-free withdrawals after a natural disaster. Other emergency-type options are seeing a bit of a slower start for now.
But here's a rule that is getting some real traction. The law now lets people between 60 and 63 contribute even more to catch up for retirement. And check this out. 13% of those who are eligible already took advantage of it, saving way above the standard limits.
So we've seen the strong market, the incredible power of automation, and the huge benefits of just staying patient. What are the big takeaways from all this data for your own financial life?
The lessons from 2025 are just crystal clear. First, embrace automation. Let features like auto-enrollment and auto-escalation do the heavy lifting for you. Second, simplify your investments. A single target date fund can help you avoid making costly mistakes. And third, just stay focused on the long term.
tune out all that short-term noise and resist the urge to react.
So what's the end game for all these features and strategies? Well, it's to get your total savings rate. That's what you put in, plus any company match, into that 12 to 15% range. According to all the experts, that's the benchmark. That's what puts you on a really solid path for retirement. And all of this really leaves us with one final thought. When you look at what drove success this past record-breaking year, automation, simplification, and patience, it's the perfect chance to ask yourself, is my own retirement plan set up to do the hard work for me?